Okay, let's talk about what if you have an adult child who's very disrespectful or even verbally abusive to you. Well, the first thing to figure out is why are they? A common reason might be that they have mental illness, personality disorders, they might have addictions that cause them to behave in that way. Even a kid who's got major depression or an anxiety disorder, that might lead them to communicate with you in a far from ideal way. Another reason might be that they're just kind of fed up with you because they keep trying to get you to empathize with what their reasonable complaints are, and you're not really responding to them. So some kids escalate and become more and more disrespectful, rightly or wrongly, because they feel like the parent isn't really acknowledging the validity of their complaints. Another reason might be that they're married to somebody who doesn't like you and is kind of goading them on to treat you in an abusive, disrespectful way. But another reason may also be that they don't know any other way to feel separate from you than to devalue you, what we psychologists sometimes refer to as hostile dependency. They don't like how dependent they feel or how enmeshed they feel with you, so they devalue you. This is something I see a lot with daughters and their mothers, particularly daughters with their, after the mother's been divorced, and if she was raised the child as a single mother, because there's such a feeling of enmeshment between the two. So what are some kind of good steps that you can take if your child treats you in that way? Well, the first is, the next time you're going to see your kid, figure out what is it that you want to say. And you may need to practice it. If you're like a lot of parents, you might get more dysregulated, anxious, upset, and the things that you end up saying you later regret. So figure out what you want to say and then practice it. But when you start the conversation, you may want to set some ground rules, or maybe you want to do that over text or email. Say something like, the past few conversations haven't gone very well. Let's see if we can have a better conversation this time. You might sort of explain your child's perspective. You might say, I know that you've been getting mad at me a lot when we talk. At least it feels that way to me. Your kid may say, no, I haven't. To which you might say, all right, but it's looked that way. It's felt that way to me. And maybe you feel like I won't understand or empathize unless you hit me over the head with it. Maybe I've given you good reason to believe that in the past, but that's something that I want to work on with you. So how about if we start talking and it starts to go there, if you just calmly say, Dad or Mom, what you're saying right now, I find really provocative or really upsetting, or it's the kind of thing that makes me not want to spend time with you, and give me an opportunity to correct it or to clarify. Sometimes I obviously don't either know how I'm coming across or I have blind spots in how I communicate. Give me a chance to do it. I mean, you can basically say you think I'm a terrible parent if you want to, but you can't yell at me, you can't scream at me, you can't call me names. My brain just shuts down. It does it with everybody. So I assume you're telling me the things that you're telling me because you really want me to understand them. Otherwise, you wouldn't be telling them to me. So I'm just sort of letting you know what would help me to feel like it would be a good conversation. So if you start the conversation, your kid starts to go there, give them a warning and say, I feel like we're kind of getting into that spot. Can we try to reboot the conversation? If they're unwilling or unable, which they might be unable to if they have addictive issues or mental illness or other issues that would cause them to be more dysregulated, you could say, well, look, I'm going to go now because this doesn't feel like it's going in the right direction. If you want to talk about it later today or tomorrow when we both feel calmer, let me know. I would love that opportunity. And if your kid can't calm down, then I just think you lovingly, calmly have to just hang up or exit the conversation. And now let me shut off this video.